In the shadow of the fabled Arlington National Cemetery lies a resting place that is often overlooked, yet just as powerful, Alexandria National Cemetery. Opened in 1862 and one of America's first national cemeteries, it is a quiet, peaceful place with deep roots in the Civil War. Join me as we honor its permanent residents and find sanctuary in its tranquility. We will visit a memorial to and graves of victims of the hunt for John Wilkes Booth, United States colored troops, and many others who honorably served our country as we discover more about them. We will also learn about the surrounding area visible from the cemetery, which includes a landmark that honors our first president and one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world at the same time. The gates are open. Let's step inside. So here we can see a lot of Civil War graves. And we'll just take a walk in here. Here is an unknown soldier, unknown US soldier, and another one. You know, we always think about the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier at Arlington National Cemetery, but the truth is there are unknown soldier graves everywhere. They are all over Arlington National Cemetery. It's not hard to find them here, as we just saw. There are plenty. They're all over the place. Here's a corporal in the Army, died 1862. September 19th, September 3rd, so very close together. Another unknown. So this section of the cemetery is where the older Civil War graves are. (1863), 1863, here's a more modern grave coming up. Take a look at this one. Richard F. Hearn, Air Force, served in the Korean War, died in 2018, so pretty recently. And I want to show you backs of one of these graves. So you see here, there's a number here. It looks like 1247 and then nothing else. So this is basically an identification number specific to the cemetery. So if a family member came or anyone who wanted to find a specific grave, there's a whole numbering system where if you know the number, you can check a map or however it is. See, they're all in order. Here's 1244, 1245, 1246, it says 1247. So very easy to find the person you're looking for with that number system there. And here's an interesting looking grave. So it says in memory of Corporal Benjamin Leitner, and he died in 1863, but on the bottom, it also says aged 20 years, 11 months, and 22 days. So very, very specific about how old he was, or how young he was in this case, which sadly was the case in the Civil War. We lost about 600,000 soldiers in the Civil War, more than any other war we've fought in American history. And that, of course, is because every single death was a U.S. casualty, north or south. Here are some much older burials. So you can see it says 1785. However, this headstone, it looks pretty new. So this is clearly a replacement headstone. It's very easy for these older headstones to get damaged. And 1786, 1787, and yeah, these are all pretty new headstones. 1788. Here we have 1812, 1813, 1814. And here's one that's embedded into the ground, and I don't know the story behind this. But as you can see, it's right there with the others that are standing up. And it's very hard to read as well. And here is a World War I veteran who died in 1971. And there is no one else in this cemetery at all right now, at least no one alive besides myself. And that is something you will never see at Arlington National Cemetery. So this one, it says 1752, and then the soldier's name, R.L. Hibbs, and USA. So I was thinking that these, when there was just one date, that was the date that they died. But clearly this must be the birth date, because there was no USA in 1752. So it's got to be a birth date. Well, it looks like I was wrong. There is another person here. There's one person.